Hello, hello, and welcome to Fundraising 2.0, the Noble Cause Reimagined. So, who has never done a fundraiser? Raise your hand. Who hasn't done one because they're nervous that they won't do it right or they might make mistakes? So, we are hoping with this training, you will see it really isn't that hard to do once you get your first fundraiser under your belt. You'll become more confident and tweak it along the way to see what works best for you, but you have to start. Hi, my name is Allison Boers, and I'm from Morris, Illinois. And I'm really a newbie in the fundraising world. We've had leaders in Mia Bella Candles that have been fundraising for over 20 years. When I came back to Mia Bella Candles about 12 years ago, I never did fundraising until just about 4 years ago. I went to the Fling in 2021 and listened to the fundraising training that the leaders did. And listening to that training, I gained such confidence to what the leaders were saying. And I realized that I can do it too. I just need to step out of my comfort zone and start reaching out to groups. So I made up my mind that I was going to do it after that day at Fling. And I hope you will too. So my first fundraiser was a dance studio that said yes. As soon as they said yes, I panicked, got a hold of Kathy, my sponsor. I said, what do I do? What do I do? I was nervous. I was afraid I'd mess something up. And Kathy just said, Allison, you know what to do. We trained on this. You know, just do it. I'll be here to coach you along the way. No worries. And she did. And the dance studio sold 127 candles. So every step of the way, every new fundraiser I did, I gained more and more confidence. And I tweaked things a little bit to make it easier and more efficient each time. It really wasn't as hard and scary as I thought. Now I love to do fundraising and help groups earn the extra income that they need.
Well, hi everyone. My name is Julie Beisinger, and I'm from Valparaiso, Indiana. I joined Mia Bella in 2021 and quickly realized I wanted to do fundraisers. The only problem was I didn't know quite where to find them. So I posted on Facebook, talked to my friends, talked to people at events, and I got a lot of no's. But then one day at a small event, I met the coach of a local high school wrestling team, and he loved the candles, and he said yes. So I was nervous, I was excited, but the team did great. They sold 88 candles their first fundraiser and did another fundraiser that same year. So now I'm always listening for and offering our amazing fundraiser opportunity.
Did you know there's a fundraising training in your back office? If you're brand new to fundraising, be sure to watch it. So you just log into your back office to the resources tab under recorded trainings, and you'll see fundraising fundamentals. Another good video is from Fling 2022. This is on Kim's YouTube channel. Actually, everything's on Kim's YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to that, so be sure you do. So how do I find fundraisers? Listening, listening to others when you're out and about. A coworker of mine was talking about how expensive dance class was, so I put our candle fundraiser in her ear. Just share what you're doing when the opportunity comes up. Another way is do a Google search. Search for dance, cheer, animal rescue, schools, different clubs or sports teams. And I live in a smaller town, so I also go out into the neighboring towns too. You can join city and town groups on social media. Some people post fundraisers that they're doing in there. So reach out to that person and let them know about our candles for a future fundraiser, possibly. Also, in these local area Facebook groups, some groups allow you to advertise your fundraising, but always check the rules of the group. So not only in groups, sometimes on your social media timeline, you'll see somebody doing a fundraiser for a group or school, whatever it is. Just reach out to them. Always have information with you at vendor shows. And also, if you're promoting on social, you also have people contact you from out of state. So you work with them the same way, except they will be accepting the shipment and sorting the candles themselves.
So I find most of my fundraisers at events I do. I set up samples and fundraiser forms and candles at the end of my table, and this allows me to bring up my fundraising program to people that are just passing by. I said, "Oh, those are our fundraising cents. We have a very generous fundraising program. 100 kids sell 10 candles each, they earn $8,000 profit." As I say this, I hand them my postcard with this info on it. So this postcard, excuse me, is my not so secret weapon. A friend of mine used to own a gymnastics business, and she told me that as a coach, they don't care much about the product they're selling as much as the profit they are making. Show me the money. If you know, you know. They care more about the profit they're making. So I came up with the idea to make this. $8 profit is so generous, but if you look at the big picture, it makes all the difference. And you should have all received a copy of this. The response I get when I give this postcard out is astonishment. They're shocked at how much money that can be made. I usually get, "Wow, I could give this to my school, child's dance team, sports team, etc." Also, don't discount those individual fundraisers if a big one doesn't choose to do it. Now, the most important thing. Do you mind if I get your contact info so I can send you some more information? This allows me to get back to them when they forget to pass on my info. I jot down team name, dance studio, any information they told me, and any information that was shared between us so that I will remember them. And I send out an email the very next day and thank them for their interest in our fundraising program, noting where I met them and any personal info in the email. They think I remember all their info, and it gives us a stronger connection.
So how do we contact a fundraiser? So what I do is I email the groups with information about the candles, the profit of $8 a candle, the fundraising guide link, the image of the profit numbers they can make, along with the image of the fundraising flyer. Now, if they respond back, we normally connect on the phone to go over questions. And then I might send out a fundraising packet, which includes a cover letter, information with some samples. Sometimes they prefer to text communication once we've connected. Now, it's really important if you're working in a business advertising, check your email daily and also your spam, because businesses, schools, and groups normally check their email daily. And if you keep your spam clear each day and up to date, it only take you 15 seconds to clear it. I've had business opportunity leads go into spam along with a fundraising lead before. And if I didn't check spam, I would have never known. I would have lost those leads. And I've had team members say the same thing, that they're glad they started checking their spam because one had a fundraising lead in there also. If you're promoting fundraisers, I would say always have brochures on hand at home along with some samples. You never know when somebody's ready to start now. Be ready. That's what happened to me a couple times, and I'm so glad I had the brochures available.
So, as I showed earlier from my event table, I like to make that personal connection. When my kids were younger and in sports and other activities, I would take the time to talk to the other moms at practice about candles, parties, and fundraising. If you have kids in sports, I strongly encourage you to bring samples and fundraiser forms with you. Now that the kids are grown, I reach out to other friends with kids, grandkids in sports, and have done individual fundraisers as well. So I'll start with emails, and once I've established a relationship with them, I mainly text them.
How often do I contact them and how? So what I do is I contact them a minimum of 4 times a year by email. I'll send out two emails in the spring for the spring summer and 2 to 3 times for the fall winter fundraiser. And these are groups I have not connected with yet, and also possible returning groups. Because I've had groups reply back to me that have been on my email list for over 2 years. I never heard from them, and then poof, they want to do it. So maybe the timing wasn't right at the time that I originally sent the email, but it is now. So my follow-ups are mostly done by email, and email is just a big part of my business communications with these groups. Somebody responds back, I try to make it a point to get on the phone with them to answer all their questions.
So I already told you guys that I like to contact people by email the very next day after I meet them. This is something I never wait on. Well, it's fresh in their mind and my mind. Now, I also send out emails and texts a few times each season. And if another group has done a fundraiser or done extremely well, I will send it a text. For example, say, my last group earned over $10,000 in 2 weeks. I would love to get you started today. This is definitely something that gets them interested.
So really, it's all in the numbers. The more you contact, the better chance of getting that yes. It is a numbers game, just like sponsoring and making sales. The more people you talk to and contact, the better chance of getting that yes. I make it a goal to talk to 2 new people a day, 5 days a week about my business, whether it be fundraising, the products, or the business opportunity. So if you only talk to one person every few weeks, it will take a lot longer for your business to grow. So set a goal, 2 people, 2 groups contacting each day. There are groups looking to earn extra cash for their causes all over the country. Like I said, it doesn't have to be local. You got the whole USA plus parts of Canada. You will never run out of places to contact. So don't tell yourself, I have contacted everyone in my area and no one is responding. Then give up. Go further out. Mia Bella has no territories that you have to stay within. Keep reaching out and adding to your list. And it's important to know also that most groups that you reach out to, you're never ever going to hear back from. And that is normal. Don't take it personally. Keep going forward. Don't look back. Just say next and move on.
So I know that I have gotten a little discouraged with getting no's before. You also might have someone who seems so excited to do that fundraiser with you, and yet you never hear back from them. Just keep handing out information and giving out samples. It happens to all of us. Then, boom, at another event, you could meet someone and have your biggest fundraiser. Fundraisers are out there. Never stop asking.
So start your email list. Getting your contact list set up will take time. Collecting those emails and putting together the list of groups and people you will be contacting. But once that's all done, it's less time consuming for future emails or phone calls because you'll have all the information already. Now I use a marketing system, so I have a fundraising email list that's how I do it. But if you just are going to use, say, your Gmail to send out emails, it's fine to just copy and paste an email to yourself, then blind carbon copy, say 10 contacts. Gmail doesn't like if you send hundreds of mass emails out the same day, but small groupings are just fine.
So with me, I often go back through my sent emails. I like to send an email in a thread that's already been established so that it won't end up in the, be as likely to end up in the spam folder. I know it's a little more time consuming, but I personally like to send personalized emails out. Now, everyone has their own way to do it, and there's no right or wrong way. You heard Allison's way, you heard mine. Just do what works best for you.
So, how do you keep contact information organized? You can use Excel spreadsheets, binders, folders, whatever works best for you. I use a binder and I use the plastic sleeves like the sheet protectors. I have it alphabetical order by the city or town, and that's where I keep all the information. I write down everything I need to know when I contacted them, if they responded, and so forth.
I'm old school. I have a huge notebook I keep adding to. I think the main thing I want to add is what Allison said is to keep track of the last time I sent an email, text, or phone call. So I know when I sit down which organizations I want to contact next and when was the last time I contacted them.
So they say yes. What do I do now? Oh my goodness. Get on the phone with them. Find out what they're fundraising for. Do they have a goal in mind? How many candles does a group need to sell to achieve that goal? The coordinator receives the brochure, the pink sheets, the brochures and the pink sheets, 15-cent samples for me, and they'll also receive a candle. Don't forget, these items are a tax write-off for your business. So what I do is the top three sellers will get gift cards, whether it be an ice cream, McDonald's. If it's a high school, they love Starbucks or Dairy Queen. I just kind of depends on how close these places are and the age group. They also have to sell a minimum of 50 candles in order to get the gift cards. And over here on the right is Jody's checklist she made. Thank you for putting this together for us, Jody. And this checklist was handed out. uh, and you could also find it in the Bella Builders group under the files. Just search fundraiser and you'll see new fundraiser checklist 2022.
So I schedule the date to start the fundraiser and ask about their goals. I order fundraiser brochures if I don't have enough on hand at the time. I try to plan to start on a Thursday if possible to get my two weekends into my 2 week time frame. Now, let's talk prizes. Kylie suggested I give out a prize for 3 candles sold instead of the 5 candles I had planned on my school fundraiser. I think this is what helped the fundraiser sell over 1,100 candles. The goal was much more achievable. The prize was this cute little turtle keychain poppet, and I'll show it when I have it. And that was not expensive. It was from Amazon, but the kids loved it. So I also offered a $25 gift card if they sold 24 candles and a $50 gift card if they sold 48 candles to anywhere they wanted. The kids loved this idea too, and I learned about all sorts of places around here I didn't even know existed. The class that sold the most, over 100 candles, would win a pizza party, and it's important when offering prizes to include a goal that must be reached to get that prize for that pizza party. I also include some of the fundraiser candles, fundraiser scent samples, and the turtle poppets and order forms. I set them up in the office as a display so parents could see them. Oh, so what is a pink sheet and where do I find it? So the pink sheet is an individual candle form that each seller turns in after they tally their fundraiser forms. So this form says that these are the only candles that were ordered. Most mistakes are made on the seller's part. So these forms are here to protect you. The forms are also what we use to sort our fundraisers. We call them pink sheets, but they can be any color. With larger fundraisers, you can have multiple colors, different grades, different teams. They're found in the files section of the Bella Builders group, available in PDF as well as Excel. And a great big thank you to Denise Molitsky for making these for us every season.
So how do I turn in the order for the fundraiser? Just very simple. You fill it out, you sign it, you take a picture of the completed form with your phone and send as an attachment in an email right to the home office. That's it.
Oh, sorry, my phone's ringing. So when your fundraiser order is too big to take your house or too far away, you will need to schedule your delivery with the FedEx Freight. This order was so big, I had to have it delivered to the school. So the truck comes with a lift gate and the driver will lower it to the ground and take it where it needs to go. It's so important to have a dolly in this process. Trust me, you will thank me later. The candles will come in small boxes with plastic wrap and then be wrapped in more cardboard. And also keep in mind, for example, if it's a school like this one, our driver wasn't able to come inside. We all had to have background checks before we were able to come in and sort the candles. So it's important to know these kind of things and prepare for them. Once the candles are inside, we unwrap all the candles, separate the different scents onto the 6-foot labeled tables, and make sure you always count that all candles are accounted for before starting to sort. Then if there are any missing, you'll know from the start, because otherwise you will get to the end of sorting and be missing candles and you won't know where the discrepancy is. Now, Mia Bella does an amazing job with this. I can't remember a time that the count was wrong or I had any broken candles. But just in case, I make sure I have some of the candles in our fundraiser line available at home. Most mistakes are made on the seller's part. Remember the pink sheet we talked about? Only the candles on this sheet are ordered. This is to protect you from the seller's mistakes. But it is so nice to be able to fix them and get Aunt Sandy that candle that she meant to order, if possible. You will look like a rock star.
Absolutely. And smaller fundraisers come, the regular FedEx truck, but larger orders like 80 to 100 plus candles come with the lift gate. It's either like FedEx, ABF, or another carrier. You want to check with the group for a delivery day and time and to get appointments set with the carrier because all these lift gates do need appointments. I actually have had all my fundraisers come to my home. I have never had one as big as Julie's had where he had to go to school. And it's very important to make the fundraiser as easy as possible for the coordinator with great customer service. Their job is to work with the groups to promote it, to collect those pink sheets and the money, then tally and provide those pink sheets to me with the check. That's their main part. So I sort by the seller with the boxes or bags. I put label with their names on everything. The group does not have to do all of this, and the coordinator loves it. I provide extra bags if the candles are in boxes for the seller to separate once they get home too. And I usually always tip the liftgate driver with the Senseway, or if he's a candle lover, I have one driver like that. He gets a candle. And many times you might have the same driver and they will go out of their way if you're nice and appreciative to make it as easy as possible for you. I've had a couple of mine do more than they ever are required to do to help me make the delivery as easy as possible for me, especially the days I haven't had anybody to help me.
So now we're on to sorting candles. The key to sorting a large fundraiser is to always have help. I love including my team members in this process. They earn a little cash and get the training for their own future fundraisers. And also, as distributors, we know our candles best, and it makes the process faster and more fun. So, how do I label the candles? It is so important to label your candles, always. Anytime a candle leaves your house, it should have your info on it. So I place labels on the bottom of my candle. Probably always will do it this way for fundraisers when they are big. With regular candle sales and small fundraisers, my candle label goes inside the lid so that they can see it every time they light the candle.
So give your coordinator a thank you letter along with a total of the candles sold and their profit as a receipt. I also let them know that I would love to help them again in the future for any of their fundraising needs. Always send them a thank you. So right here, I'm just going to show you some of my numbers from last fall, 3 months, September through November. So last fall, um, I had 11 fundraisers, some very small, several returning, a few new ones. The groups made $8,900 profit. The 11 fundraisers sold 1,121 candles. Now, my profit on those 11 fundraisers was 23.68. So it was $2.12 a candle. Now, that's not including brochures and supplies, which is a tax write-off for your business. So as you can see, the groups earned a wonderful profit, and I did too. In 3 months, I made the 23.68 just on fundraising. And this profit of 23.68 does not include my personal sales, residual income from team building, and the vendor show sales. So $2.12, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it would be very difficult for me alone to sell 1,121 candles. Not impossible, but difficult. So why not have others selling for you and you get a smaller amount of the profit, plus you have your labels on all those jars for repeat customer orders down the road. You're also reaching out to many, many people that you wouldn't have otherwise. Also, just the fundraising volume all by itself was over $13,000, which qualified me for a trip for one to Costa Rica, just with the fundraising volume. The other volume I got for the trip for two was just personal sales and the sponsoring and doing the vendor shows. So these trips, they're not easy to earn. You really have to work for them, but it's so worth it. And by fundraising, that'll bring you a good amount of volume toward earning these incredible trips. So if that is your goal, earning that 2026 trip, get out there and start contacting these fundraising groups.
I love these are our cause candles. I love that Mia Bella is a company that wants to give back. They are so generously donate to so many different causes while allowing us to do fundraisers for groups and even individuals. I had the opportunity to do a fundraiser for a woman battling breast cancer in our community. I was so proud of all the people who wanted to help her, and I was able to help alleviate some of the stress with bills while she was off work for treatment. I would also like to extend a special thank you to Danielle Foster for all of the images she makes for us to use with our cause candles. These are just a few examples.
Custom label fundraising. So personally, I feel I don't have to make a lot of profit with these custom labels because the cost is a little more to have them done. And I really don't want to charge a lot more to the group for the candles because you'll have a labeling fee of $12.95. That's if you make your own label, and many people use Canva or some other graphic design platform. And there will be a relabeling fee per candle of $1.25. And you order your custom labels through miabellaprinting.com. And these are just showing you the steps you take. So my fundraisers in Illinois sell for $25. I know the Western states, they normally sell higher because of the shipping costs from Pennsylvania. And on custom label fundraisers, I would encourage the group to either charge $2 extra and sell them for $27 to receive that $8 profit, or they can make $6 and keep it at $25. I just leave that up to them. And you can also give more back to the group if you like on top of that. It's all up to you. You are helping these groups raise money they need, and every candle will have your label on them for hopefully repeat customers down the road. And that has happened several times. If you give great customer service, they'll come back and you might also receive referrals for more custom labels or even our regular fundraisers. So really, it's a win-win. You can order custom label trifolds to hand out in your back office under ordering and the sales tools. So why we love to do fundraising? So I just love helping groups and organizations. I have not had one group that was not satisfied on how their fundraiser went. Almost every group came back to do it again the next year. Even though a fundraiser might not have gone great with the number of candles sold, the group has always been appreciative and loved how smoothly everything was handled. If the selling didn't go well, and they also know it was not anything that I did, and they have stated it. Um, it was how they promoted it and pushed it on their end. And we talked about how we would improve it for the next time.
So, why I love fundraising is I love being able to help the people and organizations earn money. Have you ever seen a post on Facebook and thought, I really wish I could do something to help? Well, I can, and so can you. It also spreads the words about Mia Bella candles to people who've never heard of them, earning new customers as well as other future fundraisers or even distributors. It's such a generous program. Why not share it?
So if you have any questions, just let me know. We'd love to get your questions answered for you. And thank you, Julie, for joining me today on our fundraising training. I appreciate all your feedback, great information you shared. And with that, have a great evening, and we'll be talking to you soon.